This is the Altem Life Podcast.
Let's go check it out.
Welcome to the Altem Life Podcast, our very first episode.
This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Had some technical difficulties, but I think we're good to go.
It's been a long road already.
Yeah, hopefully it turns out okay.
Yeah, props to people who do podcasts all the time.
Mm-hmm. That could be us someday, though.
It could be. You never know.
You could be giving props to yourself.
Yeah.
Props.
See where we started.
Yeah.
And then see where we go.
Yeah. First, though, Happy New Year. We are starting this on the new year. But just know there could be some firework noises in the background because people are still shooting them off in daylight.
I'm really excited for the new year, I guess.
They shot them off until about 2 a.m. last night, 2:30 a.m., and are continuing the tradition throughout the daylight.
2:30 p.m. the next day. So if you hear that, just know it's fireworks.
Yeah.
You might also hear other things like the cats, things like that. So we'll do the best that we can.
It is what it is. It's real life.
Yeah, the Altem life.
It's the real Altem life.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you who maybe are just being introduced to us through the podcast, or you've recently joined us in our videos, we're going to give a brief overview today of like who we are, what we're going to do with the podcast. So just starting out, we are the Altem Life, and we have a YouTube channel. But maybe you're wondering how we got our name.
Yeah.
The Altem Life, because it's unique.
Yeah. So the Al comes from my name, Alex, and Tim
Comes from my name, Timber.
Yeah. Explain your name a little bit, please.
Like I do when I go to Starbucks.
Yeah, definitely.
What name? I usually just have them put your name, but I'll say Timber, like September, Tember. So my full name is not September. My full name is Timber, not Timber, not Tamber, not whatever other variation I've heard growing up. It's just Timber. I don't get offended by it, but chance for clarity is now. So.
Yeah. And your name actually comes from the month of September.
Right.
Yeah. Your parents wanted a unique name and
I
they
got
chose
it.
one. Yeah. You can't find any of the personalized stuff anywhere for you. So
That's okay.
you don't get any of those cool keychains from places we travel.
No.
Alex, on the other hand,
About as common as it
it's
gets.
about as common as it gets. But yeah, and I think give people benefit of the doubt with your name because it's not a common name, but the phones do a good job of correcting it, even for me. And I've put your name in my phone a lot, but you know, you'll type Tember, and as soon as you hit send, you realize that it corrected to Timber.
Timber.
That's right. I think of Pitbull every time though in his song.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Yeah.
Yep. We were dating when that song kind of was
Became
getting
popular.
so that was one of my favorite songs there for a little bit. Actually, it's still up there, honestly.
It's a catchy one.
It is.
Good beat.
Except I say timber like you, not timber as in a tree falls.
Got made fun of it a lot for growing up, but now I get compliments all the time, so I'll take it.
I mean, what, you've only seen like one other...
I've met one other girl named Timber.
It's spelled the same? It was...
Spelled the same way.
Wow.
And she was like my age, maybe a little younger. But yeah, she was nice, so...
That's unique.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But that's where the Altem Life name came from. We were just brainstorming, and...
I remember the day to this, like, we had been wanting to use... We'll do another episode of the whole
how we got started
YouTube thing.
everything.
Just a quick story on it was, we were in the car, and we were like, we got to get a name, we got to get a logo, and what can we do? And we were coming up with all these different names, and you actually came up with the combination. We were trying to use our names, and just that was really the only way that worked. I mean, Timx doesn't Timx sounds like
It sounds like SpaceX or something like that.
Exactly. So you came up with Altem, and we were like, we like that.
Yeah, it works. It's worked so far.
Yeah.
So, and other than us in the Altem Life, we do have 5 pets. We have 3 cats and 2 dogs. It's kind of a zoo here, but it's okay. We love them all. Our dogs, we have a German Shepherd, and his name is Gaston. And we have a Saint Bernard, and her name is Nana, like Peter Pan.
Oh, and Gaston, like
Sure,
Beauty
yeah,
and the
like
Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. But I mean, like,
Nana, of
Nana
course.
in Peter Pan was like a Saint Bernard. So
Yeah.
it's very fitting. And then our 3 cats, we have our Belle, Berlioz, and Sniper. He has one eye, hence the name Sniper.
And it's kind of funny because a lot of them, besides one, have, I don't think there's a Sniper anywhere in Disney's history.
No.
No.
Doubt it.
And we originally had our first cat, who has since passed away. He did not have a Disney. His name was Leo.
Yeah.
And we weren't planning on going the route of Disney names for our pets. Mm-hmm. But it just started like falling into place. I don't really know why, but Leo needed.
I know. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say Leo needed a friend. Well,
Right. We thought he needed a friend.
Yeah.
In our human perspective, we're like, oh, he needs a friend. He's lonely. Meanwhile, he's like, no, I rule the roost.
Yeah.
I want to
This
have
is
my
the
own kingdom.
worst day ever kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we thought he needed a friend, and so we went to go get a friend and actually came back with 2 friends. You know how that ends up
Of
going.
course.
You know, you say you're going to go get an animal and you come back with multiple animals.
Happens to everybody, right?
Yeah. But we'll go into another details on the animals too. That's at a different time.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who watch our videos that love our animals
Mm-hmm.
and are always very invested in them and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So we'll definitely do a episode about that. But yeah, right now we have the 5, and 4 out of 5 of them have a Disney name.
Instead of poor Nana, poor Sniper. But it's fitting. He does have one eye. Unfortunately, before we even got him, the vets, as a kitten, the vets had to take his eye out. So it was just fitting that his name is Sniper. Although all of our pets do have nicknames. We'll go into that later. But he does sometimes go by Snipey. So
Yeah.
that's a cool name too.
Yeah. They're all good. They're all good pets. And like I said, we'll do a podcast on them later on. But they do make up our life. They're with us all the time. You'll see them if you follow us on like our Facebook page or our Instagram. You'll see pictures of them.
And
Sometimes
honestly,
they're in videos.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No,
I
you're
was
fine.
gonna say, honestly, if you're watching this on YouTube, they might jump up
Yes,
in front of the
true.
camera, so you might even see them this episode
Or hear them.
or hear them. Definitely.
But the reasoning for their Disney names is because we got them after we got married. And when we got married, we honeymooned down in Florida. Now, we had grown up traveling to Florida like most people do, the beaches and then the theme parks. And in like 2000, we both ended up at Disney around the same
Yeah.
time. It was in July.
Maybe in the same, at that time, Fast Pass line.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I don't
changed.
even think they had fast passes back
That's
then.
true. You
I was
just
like,
you just wait in line in the
standby
Florida
only.
heat in the summer with the little fan with the mister is what you have
Yeah,
to do.
I do remember they did have those.
Oh, I got one.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
We could do a podcast just on my collectibles sometime too. Like that's a whole nother long episode.
And that's the good thing about these podcasts is like I think people will be able to get to know our personalities a lot more, and we'll be able to kind of share a little bit more about not just what we go and do on our YouTube channel, which is like restaurant reviews and going to towns and exploring, but kind of a little bit more of who we are. So that'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But like I was saying, we went off on a tangent there, but that's podcast.
That's going to be a podcast, yeah.
So we had gone to Florida growing up, and then whenever we got engaged and married, we decided, well, we'll honeymoon down at Disney. That'll be fun. And after having honeymooned there, it just kind of set us off on like a yearly vacation of going to Disney.
You created the monster.
Oh, yeah.
Because originally I was just going to do the traditional, let's go to Hawaii or somewhere. Because I've never been to Hawaii. Neither of you.
No.
And so we were like, let's do that. And you're like, what about Disney World? And I was like, I've never really thought
Well,
of that.
one, because the flights were fairly inexpensive. Well, and we drove even because
Yeah.
we got married in Florida.
That's true.
We did not back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We are both from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up kind of all over the place, but originally from the Midwest. You too, different states. We didn't grow up together, anything like that. We met each other in college. But, yeah, we had decided to get married in Florida. And so then we drove and we're like, well, that would be fairly inexpensive because we got married younger than most. So we didn't have a ton of money.
And I remember, I think we kind of like flip-flopped roles. You wanted, well, you originally said Disney World and I said like Hawaii, but I wanted to get married in Florida, whereas you wanted more of like a traditional wedding, right?
Yeah.
And we decided, well, let's just kind of let's go get married on the beach, and while we're there, let's go to Disney World.
Right.
Like the Super Bowl champions, we're going to Disney.
Yeah. What are you guys going to do next?
Going to Disney World.
Going to Disney. And we did. We went to Disney. And then, like I said, after that, when we still lived in the Midwest, we ended up making like a yearly visit to Disney and staying at resorts and things like that. So that kind of created, you know, like you said, a monster, if you will.
But a good monster, because we're here now, definitely.
Right. That was one of the things that kind of spurred us to move down here. There were a lot of things, but that was one contributing factor for sure. And after having moved down here, that novelty has kind of worn off. We're not like, we still enjoy going to Disney, but it's not all encompassing, maybe like we had thought it was going to be.
What we found out moving here is there's definitely, with anyone, a love-hate relationship with not just Disney, but the theme parks. And I think when you're in another state and you're vacationing here,
Sure.
that's the love relationship of, we're going to Disney, we're getting away from our, you know, regular life at the moment and just going to a magical place where you forget everything. Because I remember that's how I felt. I was just like, I don't have to think about work. I don't have to think about, I mean, we'd go 3 or 4 days and not know anything that's happened in the world because you'd just be so consumed. But living here, you're kind of like, there's too many people, so I need a break from Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how we are. I mean, we go and we still enjoy when we go, but it's definitely not as much as even whenever we first moved down here, which is fine. We still, you know, enjoy it when we go and are kind of learning that balance with it. But there's so many other things that Florida has to offer within a drive, and just as far as Disney, just as close as Disney. So we're definitely learning to embrace that a little bit more too.
There's a lot more like farmland too than what we had ever known, because again, when you fly in, you fly to the airport, and then the airport takes you to the theme parks or
you
Orlando, or you go to the beach,
and it's the beach,
and that's the beach. So that's something we learned too, is there's a lot more land, especially here in Central Florida, that is not just all tourist attractions and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and just exploring the different towns, we've found a lot of cool things.
That's probably been my favorite thing about living down here. It's just going to the different towns and seeing what they have to offer. So if you haven't seen our YouTube videos yet, that's kind of what it encompasses. And then, like I said, with this podcast, I think obviously we'll do whatever God wants us to do and wherever he leads us. But we're hoping that it just provides more of a ability to connect with people and share our experiences and tips with traveling, but then also just like life lessons and our favorite things to do. I don't know. We'll just kind of see where it goes.
We realize that, you know, we do, if you've watched us for any amount of time, we do little update videos. But now that we have this set up, I think this can be also an update video style. Maybe make it more of a podcast where we can just go talk. And, you know, you could just do a ton of stuff with, even we've talked about places to eat and things like that. You can really, sky's the limit on a podcast format.
Yeah, and we're open to all of it. Just kind of wherever we're led, we'll follow. Gilmore Girls reference for those of you who watch that.
We might have a lot of movie references and TV show references and stuff like that, because love all that stuff. So it's just going to be something open, fun, and free that we can just experience, you know, like do whatever we want, say whatever we want. Well, won't say whatever we want, but just talk about whatever we just want to ramble on about. Because it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that in a regular YouTube video of just like, if you're doing a restaurant review, you're not going to sit there and talk about just random stuff.
And I think that's what makes, I mean, if you've watched our videos a lot, I know a lot of people say, why doesn't Timber smile more? And why doesn't she seem happy? And why doesn't she talk more? Blah, 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 blah.
Why doesn't she get her own plate?
Oh my goodness. Welcome again to the Altem life. This is how we do stuff. But I think I'm much more comfortable in this setting to where there aren't other people around. We're not at like a restaurant or whatever. So this might be like my preferred way of doing videos and things like that too.
Yeah. And not to be rude starting out the new year, but I just want to be like, let her do whatever she wants to do.
Well, because I'm going to keep doing whatever I want to do. It's not, it doesn't, other people don't dictate my life. But at the same time, like you said, just like, leave it alone.
Yeah. They're always after you, too. It's not like...
I get picked on a lot.
Yeah. It's weird.
Stuff that people don't even see, like messages and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It comes with the territory. And maybe, though, if they're choosing to listen to this, they'll see a different side of me. And maybe won't have those kind of preconceived notions. But
maybe you were meant for radio.
Maybe.
Video did kill the radio star.
Uh-oh.
But maybe
Yikes.
maybe radio can come back and be equal with
as podcasts.
Yeah. There you go.
Join teams with a video.
That's right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, like with YouTube, we had no idea where it was going to go, and we just decided to jump in and start it, and that's kind of what we're doing here with the podcast. But I know when we put it out on social media a while ago saying, you know, would people be interested in listening to a podcast? We had a lot of positive comments and messages back, and very thankful for that. Always thankful for the positivity and the encouragement. But, you know, that also helped encourage us to kind of think, okay, yeah, we can do this, and some people will listen.
Yeah. Even if they don't, I love it right now. I think this is awesome.
And it's fun to do.
It's fun just to kind of like just let it all out sometimes. Because like I said, when you do restaurant reviews, you're not going to talk about anything but the food, the restaurant.
Right.
Which I appreciate everybody watching the restaurant reviews, because that by far is the best category. And you still
enjoy doing that.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I enjoy going around and filming other things just to look back on memories of everything we've done. It's cool to go back and be like, oh, we've done this, we've done that.
Right.
We I don't know if you heard that or not, but that would be a firework. But we've kind of, starting out, you know, the comments, the bad comments, kind of, it was hard to get past them, but we have learned now just to not let it bother us at all.
It didn't ever really bother me as much probably as it bothered you. Especially when people were making comments about me. It bothered you and like my family and stuff more than me. Because, I mean, I know who I am, and it doesn't...
I think the other thing, too, is not you, but we put so much effort into these videos and stuff that when someone, you know, has a comment of not a good video or something, it's kind of like, yeah, but like...
Scroll. Like,
yeah, just don't...
Scroll.
Don't even...
We don't need you here.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but sorry, we don't.
It takes a lot of effort to do this stuff, so...
And that's why we're so thankful for the people who do constantly comment with, like, positive encouragement, and that's who we're focusing on, and that's why we keep doing it. So, hopefully the podcasts are the same way, and we get good feedback. Constructive criticism is always appreciated, too, in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Just put that in there.
And, of course, topics. We've said, you know, what are some topics people would like us to talk about.
So I do have a list of some potential episode ideas, things that we can kind of talk about, because I did, again, put that out on our social media, and quite a few people messaged back with, you know, questions that they have for us or ideas for us too. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
And I think, like we mentioned before, even we just recently went on that Key West trip, and even a podcast just dedicated to places we've gone, Savannah, Key West, because we learned Amelia Island. We learned a lot just from going and doing these things. Like, I could tell you now what the best way of going to Savannah and, you know, like getting around would be. Same thing with Key West, because Key West was way different than what I thought it was going to be.
Way different.
Yeah. But I mean, that's fun stuff to talk about, instead of having just a YouTube video like we used to do, sitting in front of camera saying like, all right, here we go, you know. Now we can make it to where it's a longer format and people can listen to it on the go, or even if, you know, you're planning a trip to Key West and wonder, what do I do? Because that's how we were. I mean, I was like, I know nothing about Key West, but we do appreciate everybody that gave us suggestions, because that helped a lot. So maybe we can pass that favor on to other people. Right.
And I think that, you know, kind of is one of the reasons that you really just started the YouTube thing. But it's just because you do spend a lot of time, I do too, researching what to do whenever you go somewhere. What are the restaurants like? And we kind of ran into, there were very helpful things, and then some of it was like, oh my gosh, nobody's saying anything about this. So it's nice to kind of be able to help people out who are also fellow planners and researchers like us.
And not only just with travel, but we made that Christmas video of products we like. And I am passionate about the stuff we buy because I spend a lot of time, researching it. And so
more time than I would ever.
Yeah, definitely. And so for me, it's more of like, I've done my research, I've tried it out. This is something I would say get if you can, because it's totally worth it. So there might be some like that too. Just might even be interviews. You interview me, I interview you. I don't know. We'll see.
Again, open to anything. And I know that this is kind of just a jumbled mess of not really a mess. It's organized chaos here always. But each episode will have a purpose. And the purpose of this one is just to kind of talk about who we are, why we're doing this, and
test it out. See if it's
really try all the technology out. It's a trial run.
Yeah. Yeah, because we went out and we bought new microphones, because I know people have commented back. Some of our early videos, it's hard to... People comment. I'm
rolling my eyes for the people who aren't watching this in video format, because I already know where
you're going. It's like you're turning too fast, or you can't hear the audio, and what people have to realize. We can't hear
Timber. Yeah. Can you get her a microphone? I'm just soft.
I'm not going to hold a boom mic over while we're doing a restaurant review over the top of you.
Excuse us, party next to us.
Exactly. But what people have to realize is, with each year that we do it, new technology comes out. I mean, for those of you that don't know, I use an iPhone to film everything on. And you do have limitations with an iPhone, but it's more comfortable for me to take an iPhone than a huge camera around to film stuff. There are people out in the public that would prefer you not to have a camera in their face. And so the iPhone just does a better job of, it's small, it fits my pocket. I don't have to bring extra batteries. I can bring just an external charger. And so there are limitations. Well, some of those early videos are with a pretty early iPhone, and I was doing the best I could with what I had. But now that we've gone to a new iPhone, I plan on actually upgrading the phone I have here in the next few months, because mine's already going on 2 years. It's over 2 years, I think, now with it.
And at that point, they start just shutting it down.
They shut down, and you can't do a lot. I mean, it hardly holds a charge now anyway, so there will be an upgrade. And with the upgrades comes better quality in video and audio. But for a podcast, we did need to get mics that we have now, and a few things just to make it better, hopefully.
Make it to where people could hear me.
Yeah. If not, you can scoot really close to it and just yell. And
then people will definitely hear me.
But then you'll be too loud. You're too loud.
Right.
You smile too much and you're too loud.
You'll never please everybody. And that's just what we've realized. Yeah. So we're doing this podcast not only for the people who said that they would enjoy it, but also for us. It's something that we can do together, and we enjoy it so far. So
definitely. We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah. So thank you for sticking around, for giving us a chance, listening or watching.
And we appreciate all the subscribers, the likes, the comments, everything like that on our videos. Yeah. We're not really ones to just ask for any of that stuff. We just do it because we hope that we can be helpful to those who are watching. It does help us when people subscribe and comment and do all that, because it gives us some ideas and stuff like that.
Sure.
But if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely comment below on what some topics we should talk about.
Yeah, and if you're listening, anywhere you're listening, if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, whatever little positive actions that you have available to you. We'd really appreciate it, and very thankful for you sticking around for our first episode.
First episode. We will be putting this on our website, like a playlist of podcasts, and on our website we have a spot that you can do suggestions as well. So our emails on our YouTube page, everything like that. So there are plenty of ways to get in touch with us. We do try to answer everybody back. It's been kind of tough recently because we've had a heck of a time, and really November to December of just busy, but we're slowly getting caught up. So I think, hopefully, this is a good length. Hopefully it turned out good. We don't know. By this time, you will know. And we do appreciate everybody. We hope that, everybody has a great year because it's New Year. We're looking forward to see what God has in store for us this year. And we just pray that everybody has a fantastic 2024.
Agreed.
So anyway, I think we'll end this like we do all of our other videos.
With a slight change.
But with that being said, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.